What's up, YouTube? Zandar here with the first look of the Dragons of Tarkir intro packs. These aren't available to buy until next week, so hopefully this will give you a good first look at what all is becoming available for you to buy. And maybe some sweet pulls. With that being said, let's kind of go over everything you can get with Dragons of Tarkir. One of the first intro packs here is going to be Furious Forces. This is a red-green deck. Relentless Rush. This is a black-red. Enlightened Mastery. This is an Island Plains, so white-blue. Cruel Plots. This is a blue-black. And Massed Ranks, which is a white-green. So no tricolors at all. You're back just to dual colors for these. Let's go ahead and get started and see what we can do. We're going to start out today with Furious Forces, and let's just take a look at it. As always, these are 60 card decks that come pre-built, and you also get a couple additional packs of the expansion that you're buying. So that's going to be the most interesting thing. Since we can't buy a booster box yet, it'll be interesting to see what we pull. You always get your little how to play guide. This is going to teach you how to play the deck that you currently have, and the rules reference card, which you should know by now, but if not, or if you're just getting started, always good to go by. You always get a premium card up front for one of the main cards of the set. This never changes. It's completely seeded. So in this one, it's going to be Harbinger of the Hunt. This is a 5 mana cost, 5/3 with flying. You can pay 2 and a mountain, and the Harbinger of the Hunt deals 1 damage to each creature without flying. Or you can pay 2 and a forest, and the Hunt deals 1 damage to each creature with flying. So it gives you a little bit of utility, but this is pretty easy to get killed off the field, so I don't see it being that strong. Our next rare for this set is the Berserker's Onslaught. 5 mana cost, enchantment. Attacking creatures you control have double strike. Not too bad if it can wipe out your opponent in 1 turn. The Atarka Beastbreaker is a common, 2 mana cost, 2/2. It has Formidable, so basically it gets +4/+4 until end of turn, but you can only activate the ability if you have a power of 8 or greater on the battlefield. And you get a couple of those in there. Glade Watcher, 2 mana, 3/3 with Defender. Once again, everything kind of has Formidable on it in this deck. So you can pay another forest, and it can attack this turn as though it didn't have Defender. So it lets it actually attack instead of just defending, as long as your creatures have power 8 or greater. Dragonlord's Servant is a uncommon for 2 mana. It's a 1/3. Dragon spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. That's kind of handy to get some dragon stuff out. A Colossedon Yearling is a 3 mana cost, 2/4. Pretty much explains itself. Common. A Hardened Berserker is another common. 3 mana cost, 3/2. Whenever the Berserker attacks, the next spell you cast this turn costs 1 less. That can be pretty handy. That's why we see a couple of those in there. Our next uncommon is the Dragon Loft Idol. It's a 4 mana cost, 3/3. And as long as you control a dragon, the idol gets +1/+1 and has flying and trample. Pretty solid card. Sabertooth Outrider. A lot of people were doing stuff with this during the pre-release. 4 mana cost, 4/2 with trample. Also has Formidable. Whenever Sabertooth Outrider attacks, if a creature control has 8 or more power, it gains first strike until the end of turn. Really good card for a common. Summit Prowler. This is a 4 mana cost, 4/3. It's a Yeti creature type. Common card. A Lurking Arnyx. 5 mana cost, 3/5. It has Formidable. It can block attacking creature this turn if able. You can activate the ability only if creatures you control have 8 or greater. Stampeding Elk Horde. 5 mana cost, 5/5. Whenever the Elk Herd attacks, if creatures you control have 8 or more power or greater, creatures you control gain trample until end of turn. Nice way to get some additional damage through. Our next uncommon is the Scion of Ugin. 6 mana cost, 4/4 with flying. Not the best value, but... Another uncommon is Savage Ventmaul. He's another dragon in the set. For 6 mana, he's a 4/4 with flying. And whenever he attacks, you can add 3 forest and 3 mountain to your mana pool until the end of turn. This mana does not empty from your mana pool steps and phases. Let's start that over. Wow, learn to read. This mana doesn't empty from your mana pool as steps and phases end. We get a couple of those. This is going to be a really big dragon heavy set. And Evolving Wilds. This lets you sacrifice Evolving Wilds, search your library for a basic land card, and put it in the battlefield tapped. Just kind of lets you get some of your land out. As always, you're going to run an equal mix of your land. It's going to give you everything you need to play this deck. And going into our sorceries and enchantments and spells. First one's Epic Confrontation. 2 mana cost. Target creature you control gets +1/+2 until end of turn. It fights target creature you don't control. This is a great way to get some of those creatures off the board that your opponent doesn't want to attack with. Tread Upon is another common for 2 mana. Target creature gets +2/+2 and gains trample until end of turn. Draconic Roar is an uncommon for 2 mana. As an additional cost to cast Draconic Roar, you may reveal a dragon card from your hand. It deals 3 damage to target creature. If you did reveal a dragon card or controlled a dragon as you cast the roar does 3 damage to that creature's controller as well. Dragon Fodder is a common for 2 mana. Put 2 1/1 goblin creature tokens onto the battlefield. Magmatic Chasm, 2 mana cost. Creatures without flying can't block this turn. Roast, 2 mana cost, uncommon. Roast deals 5 damage to target creature without flying. Not too solid of a card in this series because almost every card has flying as we're dealing with a bunch of dragons. The next uncommon is an Atarka Monument. 3 mana cost. You can tap it and add mountains or forests to your mana pool. Or you can pay 6 mana cost, being it 4 uncolored, a forest, and a mountain. And it becomes a 4/4 red and green dragon artifact creature with flying until end of turn. Our next uncommon is a sorcery called Seismic Rupture. For 3 mana cost, the Rupture deals 2 damage to each creature without flying. Once again, not too bad. It's got some value, but almost everything's going to have flying in this set. Tail Slash is a 3 mana. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. Once again, it's another card just to force them to block with something or get you an extra attack one turn. Press the Advantage, 4 mana cost. It's an instant uncommon. Up to 2 target creatures get +2/+2 and gain trample until the end of turn. Kind of nice to get that damage through to finish off your opponent or just surprise them to kill them creatures that turn. Sarkhan's Rage is a 5 mana cost. Rage deals 5 damage to target creature or player. If you control no dragons, Sarkhan's Rage deals 2 damage to you as well. And that's going to be it for the Furious Forces deck. Once again, you're kind of just buying these to get started. They're always really just neat to get ahead of time. Also, really cool premium card for Harbinger of the Hunt, if that's something you like. And let's see if we can pull some magic from our packs. This set doesn't have too many money cards, actually, so a lot of people are a little upset about that. You're just not going to see some of these cards in some of the other play types. It's pretty much going to stay to limited. So the cards you're looking for is Narset or Sarkhan. That's both your Planeswalkers. Some other high-value cards right now are Deathmist Raptor, Ojutai Exemplars, and, of course, all of the Dragon Lords. So let's see what we can make happen. As always, I'm going to skip through the commons, just because you're going to see a lot of those coming out here soon, and you can always review them online as well. For uncommons, we have Learn from the Past. 4 mana cost. Target player shuffles his or her graveyard into his or her library and draw a card. Circle of Elders. 4 mana. This is a human shaman 2/4 with vigilance. Also with Formable, you can tap it and add 3 mana to your mana pool. Activate this ability only if your creatures have 8 power or less. So you're going to see a lot of Formable. Slumgar Sorcerers, 3 mana, 2/1. It has Flash, so you can cast a spell anytime that you could cast an instant. Flying and Exploit as well. So this creature, when it enters the battlefield, you can sacrifice another creature card. When Slumgar Sorcerer exploits a creature, counter target creature spell. So it's got a lot of counter spell on there. And then our rare or mythic for the pack is Surak the Hunt Caller. 4 mana cost, 5/4. Formidable. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if creatures you control have total power 8 or greater, target creature you control gains haste until end of turn. So once again, kind of nice you could get past Summoning Sickness on one of your creatures. And we have a Swamp and a token card. Or sorry, just a tip card. No token on that one. And once again, don't forget to watch and check out all the other all the other intro decks will be getting opened shortly, so look for them in my channel as well. First uncommon is a Ruthless Death Fang. 6 mana cost, 4/4 with flying. Whenever you sacrifice a creature, target opponent sacrifices a creature. Pretty cool. You can wipe the board if you've got more creatures than your opponent. Explosive Vegetation. I saw this a lot during the pre-release. 4 mana cost sorcery. Search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, put them onto the battlefield tap, and then shuffle your library. Just gives you that extra mana you need, or if you're playing a dual or tricolor deck, it definitely lets you get out the other colors you need. Last uncommons are Tarkir Monument. We've already went over this card earlier as it was in the deck. And our rare or mythic is a Sunscorched Regent. This is a 5 mana cost, 4/3. It has flying. Whenever opponent casts a spell, put a +1/+1 counter on the Regent, and you gain 1 life. I had this during the pre-release. It's a pretty solid card. It really controls your opponent has to get rid of it immediately, or anything they do is pretty much going to buff this and heal you, and it has to be dealt with. We also got a premium Dragons Monument. It has a 3 mana cost artifact. You can tap it and add forest or plains to your mana pool. You can pay 6 mana, 4 uncolored, and a forest and a plains, and it becomes a 4/4 green and white dragon artifact creature flying until end of turn. Obviously, by now you've noticed there's going to be 5 of these, one for each different dragon, and dual colors. So, pretty cool premium to get. Nothing too amazing. Island and another tip card. So, with that being said, guys, thanks for watching.